Testing, testing. Can you hear me? No? Can you hear me? Yeah. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm great. How's everybody?
Oh, okay, good.
Very good, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Is Alex?
I'm well, thank you. Very well.
Okay, we're starting, even though he's not here because we have to start on time.
All right, call the meeting to order. Everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
To
flag
the
of
flag
the United States
of the United States of
to the
America
republic
and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Barbara, would you call the roll, please? Here.
I'm here, Barb, but we can't hear you on the broadcast.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay, Mike Pierce.
here.
Alex, okay, all,
All right, this evening we do not have any plans to consider for approval. Nevertheless, we have received an application. One was submitted from Hamby, 4800 Chichester Avenue, preliminary land development warehouse that was received on 10/25/21. You should have a packet with your information here tonight. That'll be considered at a future meeting. Next item on our agenda is Heart and Soul. Joe, do you have an update on that?
The Heart and Soul action item was drafted for the leadership team to edit at their next meeting on November 1st and prepare a revised list for others to comment on before the next step. And if anybody's interested in getting involved with Heart and Soul, Charlie Fisher is the man to talk to.
Thank you, Joe. All right, the next item on our agenda is the Boothwyn Town Center. Boothwyn Town Center has a vision plan, and I don't know if you see this or not, but it's available at the Township Building. And Barbara, is this online anywhere?
It will be online probably by Friday or Monday, but it is a draft. So we really didn't want to actually put it on. We're going to have that at the open house on November 8th. We're still making a little bit of changes to it based on some conversations we had with transportation officials and also for the Plan Commission and some other folks. So November 8th, there will probably be a better plan for the public to comment on.
If you would, Barbara, the November 8th meeting is going to be on at the building across the street from the Boothwyn Fire Hall.
Yeah, it's Community Action Agency of Delaware County, across from the Boothwyn Firehouse, next to the Wawa Project. We're having our open house for the Boothwyn Town Center on November 8th from 5 to 7:30. You can get there between 4 and 4:30 if you'd be out of work at 4 to make it convenient for people who don't have to, go home and come back. And, we really do want your work. We really welcome your input.
But I'd encourage anybody on the board here, if you would like to go over and see what they're proposing. You each have a copy of the draft of their proposed mobility improvements. And some of it that they propose are actually things that have already been adopted or in process by PennDOT already. So it'd be worthwhile to find out what's going on in the community as far as PennDOT's improvements that are coming down the pike and what Boothwyn Town Center. And interesting enough, Boothwyn Town Center in many respects is mirroring what Heart and Soul is attempting to do for the community as well, which is find things within the community that people are interested in having improved or modified whatsoever, and trying to come up with some action plans to see if we can put that in motion. And the commissioners are behind both the Boothwyn Town Center Vision Plan, and they're behind the Heart and Soul effort. So anybody in the public who'd like to go out, again, that's at 5:30 on November the 8th. 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock on November the 8th. Okay, and if you need more information, you can call the township again, and post that on our website as well. That will be posted on the township website.
It is posted on the township website already.
Okay, very good. Next thing, I'm going to throw this at Chuck. A surprise for Chuck. And that is, what have you heard about Saldo?
Nothing new
Since last meeting. All right, I think, Barbara, what we need to do is see if we can coordinate with the other parties on the Saldo committee,
Okay.
and see if we can come back with an updated report next month. Well, we don't necessarily have to have a meeting, but we should have a phone call or something to find out, where we are and where we're going from here. So we have an idea of what resources, if any, we're going to use from the Planning Commission to help review this project. Right now, Chuck and I are supposedly going to be involved in some of the discussions. A lot of the discussions are legal questions and whatnot. I'm sure, Mike, you've been involved probably in reviewing some of the ordinances and the crossovers.
Yeah.
Mike, you might want to say something.
I have, and some of the recommendations, I'd be happy to participate in any such call that you want to go over. I know that Lisa's office is taking a lot of the lead, and we're trying to get some, we're trying to get a much more workable and streamlined document.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get an update for next month, and we'll see if we get a report on that. It's a worthwhile thing because we want to bring our ordinances up to date so that we're kind of cohesive with what's going on in the county and whatnot. And also, if we move them forward, we're going to be more reflective of what's going on in the world today than it was in 19, whatever. Some of our ordinances were drafted that don't necessarily fit with today's processes and rules and regulations and whatnot. I'll get to that part. Annual report status. He asked if we were going to have a couple people be involved. Do we have a committee on that now? You guys need to put your mic on. All right, so we have Cindy and Chuck. And do you have everything you need from us, or do you need some more information from Barbara or?
I don't know yet until I actually look through everything. So
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
I gave you all the agenda, all the minutes.
Yes,
I gave you the annual report.
yes.
And if I have any other special information that we have. And I'm assuming that we can do pictures, because last year we wanted to do pictures. We wanted to do pictures of this.
Okay.
And if we can do pictures of the actual projects that were approved. And then recommendations, I would suggest that put in what recommendations you want to do for next year, so we can put it in here. I know it's due March, but we usually have it done like in January, February for a draft, and then if you have any suggestions on recommendations for next year, what we want to accomplish, we'd like, we've done that, put that in the annual report. You can do it, but you need the input from everybody else of what the recommendations are. So I would recommend other planning commission members submit their ideas to Cindy and Chuck for the draft. Charlie, I don't know if you want Alex and Mike to be involved in that. I'll make recommendations. I don't know, but that's an option also.
Well, there are many things that we have opportunities to participate with according to the MPC, and it certainly if the Board of Commissioners or if Mike or Alex saw something that they thought that would be something that we should form a committee and work on or something, we'd be very open to that. If you look at our last annual report, you don't have it in front of you now, but if you look at the last annual report, you'll see there's a summation page, and on that page, it basically says, hey, here's what we think we should be looking at in the future, besides just reviewing plans and things like that. Right. And I think in there, we may have mentioned Saldo last year or something as one of the projects that we would be somewhat involved in. But before we go any further, it seems like I have a habit of doing this every meeting, and that is I forgot to ask about approving last month's minutes. So if I could have a motion from the floor.
Motion to approve last month's minutes.
Have a motion a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, aye. Have a collective aye. Minutes have been approved.
Thank you.
Jumping back on the agenda. Training. Training is an issue that should be ongoing with the Planning Commission. Not everyone, but most of us have had training already in the MPC. Some of us had a few classes in zoning. And there are additional zoning classes available. And along those lines, I have the privilege of recognizing a former planning commissioner, Pamela Adrian, who received the Outstanding Planning Education Achievement Award for attending all of the required classes for both planning and zoning, right, which is a very amendable, recognizable, and hopefully I'll be able to do this someday, achievable. All right. So Pam, I'd like to present this to you, recognition of your completion. I have a certificate here for you.
Drew, can you take a picture? Or you want me to? I can, or you can.
Everywhere we go. We go right here. How's this?
We're right here in front, here, yeah.
Yeah, why not? All right. Thank you. Thank you for all your efforts here in the Planning Commission.
Is it right side up? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, when there's always an all-star student in the class or in the room, also a second all-star. The same reasons I just mentioned, could I have Barbara Kelly come forward, who was also passed all the required courses. And being part of some of these courses, hearing the instructors reflect on how well Pam and Barbara were received and participated in class also goes to show their efforts, their outstanding achievement. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Speaking of training and speaking of the annual plan, it's one of those things that we should be looking at. What types of training are available beyond just simple planning and zoning? There's many conceptual type of courses out there that talk about new wave type developments and whatnot that can be utilized. Different types of traffic patterns, I think, referred to like smart traffic or something like that. Things you should understand as they come up, because a lot of times we have an engineer come in here and start making a presentation, and you know, one of those particular type of items could be in the back of your mind as a way of solving a problem that they might bring to the table, or something you may see as a problem as they bring it to the table. So just having that in your back pocket might be a way of resolving something and moving the plan forward where it might otherwise stagnate for a while. Of course, Alex is on the line now. Alex, you're well aware of that. He works very well with us with alternate suggestions and whatnot. So he might also suggest some training we might benefit from down the road.
I'll look into that for you.
I'd appreciate it. What I'd like to do right now is open the mic up for any public comments we might have tonight. The meeting, not the mic. Open the meeting up to any public comments we might have tonight. There's a dial-in number. It's 1-571-748-4021. 1-571-748-4021. And there's a PIN number that you'll be asked to enter, and that's 887-783-501#. That's 571-748-4021, 887-783-501#. Andrew, give it another minute or so.
We put on record that Alex Rodriguez did join us, and he's present for the meeting.
Okay. Anything, Andrew? Okay, hearing no comments from the public, what I'd like to do is step aside from the agenda. Barbara, could you come up here for a minute? Yeah, come on up. Come to my attention that this will be the last planning commission meeting that Barbara will be attending with us as the assistant township manager. It's unfortunate, but due to budgetary constraints, they've eliminated her position. So November 13th, as I understand it, is going to be her last day. So what I'd like to do is thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the planning commission, for all the help, for all the guidance, for all the hard work, and for all the effort you've put in to make sure that we do the best that we possibly can on behalf of the township. Barbara, you've been a stellar assistant, you're not a co-chair or anything, but you keep us on the straight and narrow, and I really, really appreciate it. I have one other little thing here for you. Hiding under the table, we do have a nice little gesture of appreciation. Okay, and with that, I'd like to adjourn the meeting. Motion to adjourn. Yes, second, third.
Aye.